Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. I'm gonna read Mark 8. Jesus feed the 4,000. Oh, let's get into our daily video. During those days, large crowds gathered. Since they had nothing to eat, Jesus called his disciples and said, I have companions for these people. They have already been with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. If I send them home hungry, they will collapse on the way, because some of them have come a long distance. The disciple answered, But where in Rome can anyone get enough bread to feed them? How many loaves do you have? Jesus asked. 7, they replied. He told the crowd to sit down on the ground. When he had taken 7 loaves and given thanks, he broke them and gave them to the disciples and distributed to the people. Others did so. They had few small fish as well. He gave thanks for them also to his disciples to distribute them. The people ate and were satisfied. Afterwards, the disciples picked up 7 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. About 4,000 were got into the boat with his disciples and went into the region of Dalmathua. The Pharisees began to question Jesus. To test him, they asked him for a sign from heaven. He sighed deeply, saying, Why does this generation ask for a sign? Truly I tell you, no sign will be given to it. Then he left them, got back onto the boat, and crossed to the other side, the east of the Pharisees and Herod. The disciples had forgotten to bring bread except for 1 loaf they had with them on the boat. Be careful, Jesus said. Jesus warned them. Watch out for the yeast of the Pharisees, that and that of Herod. They discussed this one with another and said, It is because we have no bread. Aware of the discussion, Jesus asked them, Why are you talking about having no bread? Do you still not see or understand? Are your hearts hardened? Do you have your eyes but fail to see, and ears to fail to hear? And don't you remember when I broke the 5 loaves for the 5,000? How many basketfuls of pieces did you pick up? 12. And I broke up 7 loaves for 4,000. How many basketfuls did you pick up? 7, they replied. And do you still not understand? Jesus heals a blind man. They came to be said, and some people brought a blind man and begged Jesus to touch him. He took the blind man and by the hand and led him outside the village. When he had spit on the man's eyes and put hands on him, Jesus asked, Do you see anything? He looked up and said, I see people. They look like trees walking around. Once more, Jesus put his hands on the man's eyes. The man's eyes were open. His sight was restored, and he saw everything clearly. Jesus sent him home, saying, Don't even go into the village. Peter declares that Jesus is the Messiah. Jesus and his disciples went out into the village around Caesarea Philippi. On the way, he asked them, Who do people say I am? They replied, Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and still others, one of the prophets. But what about you? He asked, Who do you say I am? Peter answered, You are the Messiah. Jesus warned him not to tell anyone about this. Jesus predicts his death. He then began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law, and that he must be killed and after 3 days rise again. He spoke plainly about this, and Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. But Jesus turned and looked at his disciples. He rebuked people. Get behind me, he said, You do not have a mind that concerns God, but merely human concerns. The way of the cross. And then he called the crowd to him along with his disciples and said, Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me and for the gospel will save it. What good is it for someone to gain a whole world yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul? If anyone is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, the Son of Man will be ashamed of them when he comes in his Father's glory with the holy angels. The word of the Lord for the people of the Lord. Thanks be, O Lord. Hope you have a great day, and see you tomorrow.